Hey everybody, welcome to my daily vlog channel. Today we are heading to Kingsley Plantation. Kingsley Plantation, which is a plantation that was operational in the 1800s. And there's a period of time where they resisted slavery as well. A lot of history there. It's here in Jacksonville, on the outskirts of Jacksonville, so we'll be heading there. Getting a little bit later start to the day because it was pouring down rain most of the morning. And so I'm heading to Jimmy John's to grab some subs for lunch. And we are meeting up with some other people that are going with us at 1. So, yes, the day has come. I went to sleep about midnight last night. So, I got enough rest. Everything's good. Last night I started watching Sicario on Amazon Prime streaming, and the streaming didn't really work out. It kept buffering 10 minutes into the movie, so I stopped it. It said something about low bandwidth, but it's not the case, because I did a test on our internet and everything, and our internet and everything's fine. Hulu, Netflix, all that, everything works. And I even checked our bandwidth and everything. Everything's fine. So I don't know why it says that. Do you guys ever have that problem? But anyways, yes, I'm heading to Jimmy John's to get my sub. And as you can see, it's still overcast outside, but it is not raining right now. Alright, well, it's still a little bit sprinkly out here. We're on Amelia Island. Just waiting for the rain to kind of let up where we're going, which is going to be right over there in that area. So, how can you come out here and not ride on the beach? It's a must. No motor vehicles past that point. Oh yeah. We're over here at the Reebok Club, right near the Kingsley Plantation, and there's a bluff that looks out into the marsh and everything. Looks really pretty. It was raining a little while ago, but it's cleared out a little bit. Look at the color of the sand with the water and everything. All right, well, we are here at Kingsley Plantation. Basically, Kingsley Plantation was a plantation home for many years. The person who had it the longest, his name was Kingsley, and he was a very lenient slave owner. He always believed that slaves should be able to work for freedom. You know, he was still for slavery to an extent, but he was definitely a very lenient slave owner. And still, in my opinion, there's still no excuse for being a slave owner, but he was a very lenient slave owner, and he believed that people could work for freedom and become free. And he lived here. He was also a polygamist. He married a lot of his slaves, like I think between like 5 and 7 slave women he married, and they had families, and they all were here. And he tried to get the government to like support people being eventually free, that kind of thing, and it just didn't really work out. This was pre-Civil War. This is like in the 1820s, 30s, around that time period, and he was not successful. So him and his family, they just went off to Haiti, and they lived in Haiti until he died. And there's some people that descendants from his family that still live in this area and stuff like that. And so he left a lasting impression, especially because of his radical belief system of saying that some people should be able to work for freedom. So that's what this place is about. So apparently there is a gopher tortoise in there. And the slave quarters are way back in there behind the parking lot. I'll show you those shortly. But I did read that this is one of the few plantations that the owner actually let the slaves have some, I guess, padlocks on their doors and stuff, which was uncalled, like just completely unknown of at the time. You never did that kind of stuff. A nice sailboat off in the distance. You know, we've been walking around looking for a tour guide, and I think I finally found one. Hey, Dilly. You little armadillo. How you doing, buddy? Hey, buddy. How you doing? You want to hang out? How you doing? But I have an iPhone. Hey, buddy. Welcome to my vlog channel. How you doing?
Oh my god.
And we got Mr. Peacock right here. Hey, Mr. Peacock. How you doing? Doing good today? All right, everybody, I got something I've been wanting for a long time. A walking stick. I wanted to get it here because the proceeds go to supporting this place. And I bought a Kingsley Plantation walking stick medallion to put on my walking stick. That's awesome. So, right here. Yes. If you could tell by that last shot recently going through here, I was trying to get a shot of me walking through here, and then those people walked out in front of the shot. But I'm gonna keep it in there anyways.
Yeah, they don't really let people in because of all the stuff that it's survived. It's the oldest standing.
Oh, I'm coming.
Oh.
Time to get some food in the kitchen. Okay, so the slave houses are right over there. I'll be over there in a second, but if you look at this, that's what it used to look like before all these trees and everything. They had everything cut down. So back there was the cotton fields and everything. All right, well, way over there is the slave quarters. It's crazy how like they're so worn down.
Yeah. Compared to that one, which is smooth.
I think that's been like restored more.
Oh, okay.
Some of these have been restored. The old fireplace right there. This historic photo was taken from the spot where you now stand. Oh yeah, because there's the tree branch and everything. I'm gonna walk around this way.
What are the holes for?
Probably air.
Mosquitoes.
Oh.
I'm saying mosquitoes could definitely get in.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. It's just the fact that you're still not free.
Yeah, and this one seems much bigger than those other ones.
Yeah.
No, it would have been hot and smoky,
Mm-hmm.
and bugs would have been everywhere. And a bunch of people were all crammed into one.
Yeah. Hey everybody, well it's been a couple hours, well no, probably an hour since my last, a little bit of footage. Went home, cleaned up the house a little bit, and now I'm heading to the store to grab some stuff for dinner. We already got like potatoes and stuff like and veggies at the house. Just gotta get some chicken. Everything else is still defrosting. So I wanna get some chicken. So I'm heading to Target now. Got to get a couple other things. Going to Kingsley today was very nice, and I didn't even really think about it until today that we went today, and this weekend is when all the celebrations for Martin Luther King Jr. Day is happening. So it was kind of fitting considering, seeing how slavery was, and then, how throughout history we're up to where we are now. And that's what we think about with Martin Luther King Jr. Day, is just looking back at how far the African American community's come since segregation and all that kind of stuff, and then with today going to Kingsley, seeing how far they've even come since then is really incredible. There's still a lot of racial tension nowadays, and there's a ton of ignorance still out there today. And, but so it's nice to see how far as a people they've come. And, it's a nice reminder just to see that kind of history, so you're not to repeat it, that kind of thing. And while Kingsley himself was a very lenient slave owner, he was still a slave owner. Him and his wife. His wife was African. One of his wives, his main wife, I guess you could say, was African. And so, she was a slave owner too. And while they might have had a better, living facility for their slaves and everything, it was still slavery. It wasn't freedom at all. Even though he tried to work towards that, it was still happening. So that's what I like about Kingsley, is the plantation, is that they show the family side of it, about what the family's done to help, show what kind of a slave owner they were, but they also are very, very, like, most of the place is talking about how slavery was. So it's twofold in that way, which I think is phenomenal. So it's sad though that there's still so much ignorance in this world. We all probably hear some, seeing online and stuff every day. There's still a ton of it. And hopefully one day it stops. But I feel like human history shows that there's always going to be ignorance. There's always going to be bigots. And it's just unfortunate and it's sad. I'm glad that the older I've gotten, the more respectful I think I've become to other cultures, And, you know, it's one thing to be not educated on a certain country or certain beliefs, but it's one thing, you know, because being ignorant is being uneducated in that way. But when you use your ignorance and it's like a willful, ignorant, bullying kind of thing, that's when that's a problem. See, if I'm ignorant about something, ignorance doesn't just mean that in a negative way. It means that you're just uneducated on that topic. You're ignorant of it. And so I educated myself. And it really, I've always been obsessed with like history and stuff, but in terms of real life experience, and coming across people that have been done wrong and that have, you know, been bullied, you know, just the older I get, the more wise I think I become to all that kind of stuff. And I'm just so glad that I'm not like that. I'm not a bigot. I myself am very compassionate towards other people, regardless of their beliefs. It's just really, it was really fitting to go there this weekend as we're reminded about what Martin Luther King stood for. No human's perfect. There's people that probably don't like him that could say that there was things about his life. They could probably point at something that he said or did that wasn't all that nice, but I think that can be said without anybody. I mentioned that because I saw something on Facebook about somebody saying, "Oh, Martin Luther King, you know," I think somebody said something about he was unfaithful to his wife or something like that. Like, and people worship him, and it was a post that somebody had shared, and it was a comment under it, like a movie, like a studio had shared a picture about, I think like hidden fences or something like that, and under the comments people were talking about like, oh, he was, you know, he there's more racial tensions because of him and that kind of thing, and he cheated on his wife. And whether any of that stuff's true, you know, about his personal life, what he stood for, what he said, really is amazing in terms of like racial equality and all that kind of stuff. And not even just racial equality for everybody, you know, that all men and women are created equal on, you know, under the law and, you know, in general. So anyways, that's kind of my thoughts. I'm gonna go into Target now, but that's gonna be the end of today's vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support as always. I told you these good going out to places vlogs have returned, and I said that today was going to be a big day for that. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.